If you are trying to go from broke to your first $10,000, the biggest mistake is not earning too little. The biggest mistake is doing the right money moves in the wrong order and accidentally sabotaging your own progress. Most people are working hard. They are budgeting, side hustling, cutting expenses, paying debts, and still feeling stuck. It is not because they are lazy. It is because random effort without sequence creates burnout before results can compound. So in this video, I am giving you the exact order of money moves I would follow if I had to rebuild from zero. Not theory for perfect people. A practical sequence for real life, real bills, and real stress. Quick disclaimer before we start, this is educational content, not personal financial advice. Use this framework as a blueprint and adapt it to your income, debt profile, family needs, and risk tolerance. The first principle is this: order beats intensity. You can sprint in the wrong direction and stay broke for years. You can move slower in the right direction and still win because your system keeps working when motivation drops. Step 0 is to stop the bleeding before you chase growth. If money is leaking out through late fees, overdrafts, high-interest chaos, and impulse spending loops, no savings plan will hold for long because the base is unstable. For the next 30 days, run a money audit without judgment. Track every dollar in and every dollar out. Do not optimize yet. Just observe patterns clearly so your plan is built on reality, not guesses. During this audit, separate expenses into 4 buckets: survival essentials, obligations, optional spending, and leaks. Leaks are the costs that do not improve your life but quietly drain your future, and they must be identified early. Before any advanced strategy, open one dedicated future account that is separate from spending. Your first $10,000 should not live in the same place as food delivery, weekend purchases, and random convenience charges. Step 1 is cash flow stabilization. This means getting to the point where your monthly essentials are consistently covered without panic. When monthly survival is unstable, every small surprise turns into a financial emergency. Set a first micro target of $500, then $1,000 as a starter safety buffer. This is not your final emergency fund. It is your shock absorber so one car repair does not erase your entire momentum. At this stage, do not obsess over investment returns. Your mission is control, not optimization. A controlled financial system with a modest cushion beats an optimized plan that collapses the moment life gets unpredictable. Step 2 is minimum compliance on all required obligations. Bring essentials current, remove late payment chaos, and protect your credit from avoidable damage. Progress is hard to sustain when your system is constantly being penalized. If you are behind on bills, negotiate immediately instead of hiding. Payment plans, due date adjustments, and hardship options are often available, but you only access them when you communicate early and consistently. Step 3 is leak reduction with precision, not punishment. Cut what you barely value, not everything you enjoy. Extreme restriction often creates rebound spending, and rebound spending usually destroys fragile early momentum. A practical filter is this: keep expenses that preserve health, work performance, and relationship stability. Cut expenses that are automatic, forgettable, and low value. This keeps your plan humane enough to follow for months, not days. Step 4 is paycheck architecture. Most people stay broke because every paycheck lands in one account and gets mentally spent 5 different times. You need structure that assigns jobs before money disappears. Use a simple account flow: bills account, spending account, buffer account, and future account. You do not need a complex banking setup. You need clear lanes so important money is not competing with impulse money. On payday, automate transfers in this order: essentials first, minimum obligations second, starter buffer third, then future account contribution. What remains becomes flexible spending. This order protects priorities before emotions enter the chat. Step 5 is the debt decision point. If you carry high-interest debt, you cannot ignore it while pretending savings alone will solve everything. Interest can quietly outrun your progress unless you attack it with intention. A practical approach for many people is split focus in the early phase. Keep building a small safety buffer while aggressively paying toxic high-interest balances. All-in debt payoff with zero cushion often backfires after one surprise expense. If interest rates are extreme, prioritize those balances hard once your starter buffer exists. If your debt rates are manageable, keep a balanced pace so you can still build savings consistency while reducing liabilities. Step 6 is income floor expansion. Cutting expenses has limits. Income growth creates leverage. You do not need a dramatic business launch overnight. You need reliable extra cash flow that can be directed straight into your sequence. Start with the fastest ethical income move available to your current life. Overtime, a weekend shift, freelancing one skill, tutoring, reselling, or service work. The method matters less than reliability and repeatability. When extra income comes in, do not negotiate with yourself. Route a predefined percentage directly to the future account before it blends into lifestyle spending. Pre-commitment protects progress from emotional decision-making in the moment. Step 7 is raise capture. Most people increase lifestyle immediately after income rises and wonder why net worth never changes. Every raise is a fork in the road between temporary comfort and long-term freedom. Use a simple raise rule. Allocate at least half of every pay increase to future goals before upgrading lifestyle. This keeps life improving while still creating visible acceleration toward your first 10,000. Step 8 is upgrading your safety system from 1,000 to 1 month of essential expenses, then toward 2 to 3 months over time. This is where money stress starts dropping in a way you can feel. The first 1,000 gives you breathing room. The next few thousand gives you options. Options are what separate financial survival from financial strategy, because options reduce forced bad decisions under pressure. When you cross 1,000, celebrate briefly, but keep structure unchanged. Early celebration without system discipline can trigger backsliding. Reward progress in a controlled way that does not sabotage the next milestone. From 1,000 to 3,000, your focus is consistency. Same transfer schedule, same order, same review rhythm. Boring repetition is not a weakness here. It is exactly how broke becomes stable. From 3,000 to 5,000, improve efficiency. Renegotiate recurring bills. Optimize insurance, reduce financing costs, and tighten the leak bucket again. Small monthly improvements create large annual cash flow gains. From 5,000 to 10,000, protect momentum from lifestyle drift. This is where many people stall because they feel safe enough and loosen discipline right before meaningful financial traction compounds. At 10,000, your money moves evolve. Keep a strong liquidity base for emergencies and near-term goals, then decide what portion can be directed toward debt acceleration, retirement accounts, or diversified long-term investing. Where that 10,000 sits matters. Use accounts that are secure, liquid enough for your purpose, and not exposed to unnecessary spending temptation. Convenience drives behavior, so design your environment to support discipline. Now let us cover the biggest mistakes that keep people stuck. Mistake 1 is waiting for perfect timing. Perfect timing is usually fear wearing a productivity costume. Progress starts when your first transfer starts. Mistake 2 is choosing extremes. Either I will only save or I will only pay debt can both fail depending on your situation. Balanced sequencing usually beats emotional all-or-nothing plans for real households. Mistake 3 is relying on memory instead of automation. If your plan depends on remembering 10 decisions during a stressful week, your plan is fragile. Automate what matters and reserve willpower for true exceptions. Mistake 4 is hiding from numbers after setbacks. One bad month is data, not identity. Reset quickly, review what failed, adjust the sequence, and continue. Shame delays recovery. Clarity accelerates it. Mistake 5 is building a solo system in a shared household. If 2 people spend from one life, both people must understand the order. Hidden money plans often collapse under communication gaps and trust friction. A weekly money meeting solves more than most apps. 15 to 20 minutes, same day each week. Simple agenda. What came in, what went out, what changed, what gets adjusted. Small cadence prevents big surprises. Track 5 scoreboard metrics. Current cash buffer, high interest debt balance, monthly leak total, savings rate, and transfer consistency. If these trend in the right direction, your net worth trajectory is improving even before you feel rich. Set timeline expectations honestly. Depending on your starting point, going from broke to 10,000 may take 1 year, 2 years, or longer. Slow progress is still progress if the system is intact and compounding. If income is inconsistent, run the same order with percentages instead of fixed amounts. Essentials first, obligations second, buffer third, future fourth. The sequence stays constant even when paycheck size changes. If you are rebuilding after a setback, do not restart from emotion. Restart from sequence. Reestablish the next small target, automate the next transfer, and rebuild confidence through execution, not motivational speeches. So what should you do tonight? Open or confirm your future account. Set one automatic transfer. Define your starter buffer target. List your top 3 leaks, and schedule your first weekly money review. You do not need to be perfect to reach 10,000. You need to be ordered, consistent, and honest with your own behavior. The person who follows a strong sequence usually beats the person who waits for the perfect moment. If this helped, comment order, and I will make the next video as a full step-by-step implementation guide with a plug-and-play template you can use to run this system in your own life. Subscribe for practical money systems that hold up in real life, and I will see you in the next one.